Hello everybody, I am Jarrett Ross, a GeneaVlogger, and welcome back to another Professional Genealogist Reacts. In today's video, I will be reacting to part 2 of BuzzFeed's I Found Out My Dad's Not My Biological Father Through a DNA Test. I saw part 1 in the last reaction I did where she found out that she was donor conceived, and right at the end of the video, she mentioned who her father was, who was some big doctor. So part 2, I'm guessing, is going to go into a little bit of his background, maybe. I know she mentioned that, she has a brother who's a full brother, so the brother is also the son of the donor, and that she knows that there are other children conceived from the same donor as well. So I am a little curious, maybe she'll jump into some of the other siblings she has, either her brother, her full brother, or maybe some of the half-siblings, maybe she finds them. So I don't know, but before we jump in, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help me out. And also be sure to click subscribe and click that bell so that you get notifications for new videos. But with that said, let's go ahead and just jump right on in. So let's see.
This is part 2 of the story of me discovering my biological father. If you want to see part 1, click here. I kind of pointed up.
Hi, my name is Brian Mailing. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in the New York metropolitan area. I do a lot of trauma surgery, sports medicine, things like that. I also started a stem cell company with my friend Eddie. So when I was at Ohio State, I used to wait tables and things like that. So I decided to go ahead and look into being a sperm donor. So they would pay you, every time you went over and donated. And then I went on to medical school and I moved to Dayton and I just kind of lost track of it. Never told anyone when I was donating, so didn't really think about it all that much. A couple of years ago, I saw the movie about where he donates sperm and he ends up with all these kids.
You are the biological father of 533 children.
I need to find out about it. I've never seen that movie, Delivery Man by DreamWorks. If you've seen it, comment down below. Tell me if it's good, if it's worth watching.
What?
That made me kind of think, it'd be interesting to know if I ever fathered any kids. And then also, I have this stem cell business, and I was interested to see if maybe there might be some of the sperm left in their freezer, because that could give me some information about whether my genetic makeup has changed from doing all these stem cell treatments. And then all of a sudden, I found out from my sister that one of the kids apparently who I had fathered through the sperm bank, they both matched up through Ancestry DNA.
I open up the email and I read it, and it has his name, his email, his phone number, and that he's open to talking. I'm kind of just freaking out a bit, and the first thing I can think is just to call my brother. At the time, he didn't want to know anything. He just wanted to know health details, and that was it. So then I craft this email. At the time, I wasn't thinking about what to call it. I was more so even just thinking, what do I put in the subject line? How is this conversation gonna go? Like, hi, Brian, thanks for your sperm. Kind of was just like, hey. I gave a little bit of background on me, and then I gave him my contact information.
Some of my friends were like, no, don't meet them. They're gonna want you to bail them out from whatever financial.
That's one of the biggest fears when it comes to any of this kind of stuff on both ends, in that the people being contacted are worried that it's a scam, they want to get money out of you, or, people are always worried that someone's going to try to get something from them. And then for those of us who are doing these types of searches and contacting these types of people, or if you are doing your own parentage search and you contact, one of the things that people often worry about is, I don't want to come off in a way where they're going to think like, oh, great, this is just going to be somebody who's going to try to mooch off of me or try to, get something out of me. And I just don't even want to deal with it.
Financial crisis that they're in. I said, I really need to know, how could I just not know
I would
who
need
these
to know
people
too.
were?
So then he reads the email, And he responds very quickly. I was actually on the treadmill at the gym. This was also the day before my 22nd birthday. I'm opening like 4 text messages in a row and an email.
I was just reading through that. Your mom have any sperm left? That's just hilarious. So I wonder if he was talking about the whole stem cell thing. I wonder if that was after she got back in touch with him or when she got in touch with him. Interesting. That's kind of funny.
Text messages in a row and an email. He sounds super excited, wants to get in contact, which is great. I sent him a picture of me and my brother, and he sent some pictures of him. He said that I could Google him, but I already had. Yeah, so then we set up a call for later in the day. It was kind of just like, hey, what's up? I could put a face and a voice to the missing entity. But yeah, we had a good conversation. He told me about why he donated sperm in college. It was to pay for medical school, so that makes sense.
To be perfectly honest, at the time I just did it because I needed money.
Looks like it was a good investment because he's very successful now. He thought the whole thing was cool. He told his whole family, and they're all excited. None of them knew that he had donated sperm, and then he said he wanted to meet me, my brother, and my parents. I was going to be in Connecticut for a work event the following week. If you're in New York, I can easily just take the train in and we can meet.
I said, well, hey, why don't we all get together for dinner? And so we all met up at Capitol Club.
At the time, my brother still did not want to be involved in anything. He was still mad at me that I told him that Brian, the donor, lived in New York City. Anyway, he eventually decides to come to dinner. I walked right in, I saw him, and then I turned right around, and then regrouped, and then turned around again and said hi. I don't know, you walk into a restaurant and you're like, that's your genetic half in front of you. I don't know. It's surreal. I need a drink.
I think once we all started kind of talking and getting to know each other, everyone kind of felt a lot more relaxed.
Kind of just got to know him, he got to know us.
They kind of thought maybe I might be married with a bunch of kids or something. They didn't really, of course, know.
We talked a lot about his career. He has this whole side business with stem cells. He talked a little bit about his family.
I could see some resemblance, so... Well, Samantha really looks like one of my sisters. We seem to have a lot of the same kind of interests and things like that. Our fifth finger goes off to the side a little bit, so I guess mine does a little bit as well. And then we just had a really fun dinner, and then we were like, oh, we'll have to, meet up again soon and that type of thing.
So we kind of leave dinner thinking, now what? We didn't really know where this was going to go. It all happened very, very quickly. Most people don't find that out in a day and then talk to the person that same day and then meet them the next week. For a while, you look in the mirror differently, not knowing what the other genetic half of you is. You start to, you've been told one thing your whole life, and now you look in the mirror and you're like, well, yep, where does my mouth come from?
She looks a lot like my sister. It's kind of crazy. She looks a lot like my sister in that picture.
Or, certain physical features that you didn't question before, that now you're like, well, I don't know what the other genetic half is. Now when I look in the mirror, I can, complete the picture of what makes me me. I think that every kid has a right to know where they come from.
So I guess the message is you might as well be honest from the get-go, because sooner or later technology is going to catch up with you.
At the time, we had not told our parents that we found out who it was, that we talked with him or that we met him or anything. We were kind of going to sort it out ourselves first, see where it goes, and then tell our parents once we were ready. So my mom knew that I had been searching for the donor. She actually did text me, any luck with your donor search? And I said no at the time, even though I had, yes, there was luck, and I met him. They waited 21 and a half years, so I figured, a month would be fine. The whole thing was funny because turns out Brian had gotten my brother and his fiance tickets to the US Open.
So kind of like a last minute type thing. They were just getting back from London and I had a couple extra tickets.
Guess who else is going to be at the US Open? My mom.
Okay. right, that's pretty cool. It's kind of what I expected for this video, that it would go into the background, why he donated, a little bit of his family history, if he had kids or a wife, which he didn't. So very, very interesting. I guess the brother definitely does not want to be on screen at all or anything like that. I'm guessing for the next part, it's not going to be like I thought, where they search for the other half siblings or, children who were conceived through his donation. But I guess it's going to more go into him meeting their adoptive parents, maybe something like that. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty interesting video. I'm excited to see the third one, and this was 2018, so this was about a year and a half or 2 years. Well, I guess about a year and a half ago. It was December of 2018. So I wonder, what's happened since then. Maybe they have found more half siblings. I don't know, but maybe they'll go into it in the next video. So we'll just have to see. But thank you so much for checking out this video. If you did enjoy, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. You can also click right about here if you'd like to subscribe. It's completely free to do so. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at GeneaVlogger. I'm the GeneaVlogger. I'll see you in my next video.